Hello, welcome back to CruiseAway here on Gecko with Joe and Derek, here to tempt you with more fantastic cruise and stay offers directly from our amazing team with more than 2.5 decades of travel know-how. So let's get cruising.
Yes, let's. And we're staying close to home on the offers for this show, cruising right here in Oz and exploring New Zealand, all for next year. So some exciting plans to put in place now with 3 fabulous cruise lines: Princess Cruises, Holland America line and 5-star Celebrity Cruises.
Ooh, yes, let's head straight for the land of the long white cloud. And let's do it with drinks and Wi-Fi, all part of the 5-star deal as we join Celebrity's exciting Edge right here in Sydney on the 27th of January for 11 wonderfully classy nights.
They will be.
Oh my gosh.
They absolutely will be on the Edge.
And all inclusive. So
Yeah.
you're talking about all your drinks here. You know, cocktails, blended beverages, your sodas, your luxury coffees, your cappuccinos, all of that stuff. And of course your spirits, your wines, your beers. So you don't have to think about anything. It's not all totting up on the bill every time you order something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Wi-Fi, of course, Wi-Fi is included. Now, Wi-Fi can, add an extra additional cost, a significant one to your cruise experience. So having that taken out of the equation already, you're starting ahead of the game, and you are able to enjoy the unabashed luxury without even worrying. And boy, oh boy, is this a luxurious experience.
I know, you see from the pictures, right, that it's just one great big indulgent cuddle of a cruise.
Oh, I love
all
that.
Delivered in the brightest, the most up-to-date
Yeah.
modern luxury. This isn't 5-star of 20 years ago, this is 5-star of right now.
This is exactly, it's 5-star, it's boutique hotel. These are fresh and modern, exciting spaces. And the staterooms, well, this is one of the newest vessels. It's part of the Edge class. In fact, it is the flagship. So you have these incredibly dynamic experiences as part of your adventure, including something called Infinite Balcony, which you can open up, by the way, with a touch of the button, because you can actually have an app that does all that for you. Talking of apps, you can book your dining experiences with the touch of a button, and your shows as well. So it's just, I mean, this is modern cruising at its very best, but it's not modern cruising to the point where, if you're not a big fan of technology, and if you like things a little bit more analog, shall we say, then you're still going to be able to get on fine with this, because it's something that's all encompassing for everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you prefer to just put all of your gadgets in a drawer and say I'm on holiday,
Yeah.
you know what, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. And you will find though that wherever you are on the ship, you will want to reach for a camera, whether it's, you know, a digital camera or the smartphone one, because you'll be like, oh, we have to take a picture of this. It's so beautiful.
Well, yeah, and the outdoor spaces have all been dynamically designed. You know, it's beautiful. You know, the way the actual flow of the ship happens too is incredibly clever. And you've got lots of natural plants and flowers outside, up on the balcony, in the gardens, which is gorgeous. Sculptures as well. You know, you've got a DJ spinning discs when you're actually, do we say spinning discs or spinning the decks? I don't know. What do the kids say these days?
Oh, who knows? Silent discos as well that you can do, which is really, really nice.
Oh, I love that.
We've almost forgotten that we're going places here. You could just spend all this time on the ship, couldn't you? It's wonderful. But we are off to New Zealand.
We are, and we're going to start off with a couple of days at sea, taking us into the Fiordland National Park, where we'll visit Milford, Doubtful and Dusky Sound, New Zealand's natural icon. You're going to see water with lovely lakes and rivers and streams and rainforest as well, stunning fjords, and glaciers will await you. Imagine the pictures you'll get up on deck. Then it's Dunedin, which is a Kiwi city with a real Scottish heart, hailed as Edinburgh of Scotland, exactly. Edinburgh of Scotland, Edinburgh of New Zealand, shall we say. Yeah, lots to see and do there. They have a kilt maker and a whiskey distillery as well. Then it's Christchurch, where you can travel down the tree-lined Avon River and tour from Scotland to England, because you've got English-style gardens here, a Gothic cathedral, and also lots of incredible museums in Christchurch. Wellington is up next, of course, the nation's capital, which offers stunning views of forested peninsulas and dramatic cliffside homes, and you have this gorgeous Victorian architecture. You might want to head to the Weta Caves while you're there. Then we're into Napier, that we're talking wine country here, of course, of its very finest. Some great wineries, including Hawke's Bay and Mission Estate. You can take a wonderful excursion, which will show you around the wineries, or maybe just take a little cliffside walk. Then we're on to Piton, which is located at the head of Queen Charlotte Sound, and it's actually your gateway to the South Island's famed Marlborough district. You have the Lochmara Lodge there to visit, Queen Charlotte Sound, of course, and also the Pelorus Sound. We are into Tauranga next, and you might want to take a little tour of Hobbiton if you are a Lord of the Rings fan, or go to a traditional Maori village, which is super interesting. I loved doing that when I was there. Or the Agoradome is worth a visit also. Now we're going to disembark in Auckland, and we're not heading home just yet because you have a fabulous one-night stay to cap off your all-inclusive celebrity adventure, where you can see some of Auckland's fabulous museums. You can see the Morton Kelly underwater world there. It is actually on a volcanic fault. There's up to 50 volcanoes. You've got some wonderful islands to visit not too far away. And if you haven't already been to Rotorua, you can do a trip to Rotorua from Auckland if you haven't done it during the cruise. But great shopping and fantastic coffee, rivaling Sydney's, I've heard. So that is your wonderful adventure. We're going to fly you back to Sydney, and if you do need to speak to the team about other national flights, you can do that as well. But what an adventure.
Yeah, it sounds like a challenge with the coffee, doesn't it? Little bit.
Who's got the best flat white? I mean, that's up for debate, isn't it?
You're going to have to see. Well, the thing is, as well, it's not just the quality of the coffee, is it? It's everyone's opinion. Everyone has one.
And it is so varied.
So who is going to win out? Actually, I think you'll find the coffee on board Celebrity Edge as well is going to rival a lot of the finest that you've seen wherever you've travelled around the world. There's one particular cafe on board Edge where you can get the most incredible coffee and sweet treats, and you will find there's a certain sweet spot, pardon the pun, time of the day where everyone will be there, and those cabinets with the sweet treats, they empty quickly. So I would suggest getting there sooner rather than later.
That's after you visit, obviously.
That's true, that's after I've been there, yeah. So this is for the end of January next year. Celebrity Edge is amazing, by the way. I've been on board and everything about it is spectacular, stunning, wonderful to look at, and very, very relaxed and comfortable to be part of as well. You know, I think sometimes when you hear 5-star, you think, oh, right, okay, I'm going to have to be dressed up. I'm going to have to wear a suit 24 hours a day. Not at all. This is very, very low-key, relaxed luxury. It's great fun as well. It's just that you've got the most beautiful surroundings. Now, you're joining her in Sydney for 11 nights of 5-star cruising. Remember, you've got your classic drinks package included as well, which is brilliant. Every time you go to the bar, your drink is there. You just tap your card at the bar and that's it. It's not going onto the bill for you. It's included. And if you want to keep in touch, if you've got your gadgets with you, you've got Wi-Fi included as well. Remember, we are cruising to New Zealand and we are ending in Auckland. You've also got the spectacular Fiordland National Park that you're cruising through, which is spectacular. When you get to Auckland, there's a night in a hotel there for you as well before the flight back to Sydney. Now, we can do a deposit today on this for you, which is brilliant, but let me show you the price because this is so good, because you probably think, okay, he's been talking a long time now. This is tens of thousands of bucks. No, not at all. We are looking at $3,599 per person, or a deposit today of just $1,200 each to lock in that price tag with the drinks and the Wi-Fi as well. Remember, offers like this can change all the time. So the sooner you book it, the sooner you know it's happening, the better the price that you can lock in right now. Now, if you want to upgrade, you saw those infinite balconies where the top half of the window comes down and creates your open view to the ocean. If you want one of those, let's look at the prices to upgrade to those. So if you want to go ocean view, and a balcony is very, very different affair on the Celebrity Edge. It's not like an outside space that your stateroom stops, you open a door and go out into another space. Actually, your balcony on Celebrity Edge is an infinite balcony where your window at the end of your 23% bigger stateroom, actually the top half of your window comes down and creates a balcony. You've got the chairs there to sit out and enjoy the ocean views as well. It's incredible. So you really get more and more and more for every dollar you spend. It's amazing. Call us right now, toll free, remember, 1300 411 968. There are hundreds of cruises that are not far away from our shores as well, by the way, so you need to check out the only website you need to check out here in Oz, which is cruiseaway.com.au, and you will find so many offers there on our website as well. It is incredible. And remember, if you want us to search for some offers for you, all you need to do is call us, because we can make it happen. 25 years plus of cruise booking experiences. We love a challenge.
We definitely do. Yeah, throw them at us, because we'll make it happen for you. We'll create that perfect package. Yeah. We have amazing offers all the way and many more on the website, which is cruiseaway.com.au. Right, should we go cruising next with Holland America line on the amazing Westerdam?
Why not?
Well, we're going to take a summer break to New Zealand on the fabulous Westerdam Holland America line. And this is going to be 14 nights out of Sydney. On this incredible vessel I was actually fortunate enough to work on for a whole contract when I worked on cruise ships, and I absolutely love and adore, and I know the team hears me talking about it a lot, but I love and adore the Holland America line brand. I've cruised as a passenger as well. Everything about the experience is beautifully low-key but effortlessly refined at the same time. So you've got that perfect juxtapose between feeling, you know, everything you expect on, you know, 5- and 6-star luxury, but it's not too fussy, it's not too overwhelming, you don't have big bright lights everywhere, and you're under no pressure to do anything. It's all at your own pace when you're on Holland America line.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, and it's about voyaging too, because they put a really firm focus on enrichment. So you have a beautifully stocked library if you're just wanting to relax, do a jigsaw or do some travel reading. You have a lovely enrichment program, so they're going to literally fly on board world-class lecturers on different subjects, depending on the place you're visiting. So, you know, obviously we're off to New Zealand. You might have an ecologist or economist talking about different things about New Zealand, or something completely different altogether. There might be a lecture on chocolate. There might be a lecture on the history of wine, exactly. So I love that. Talking of wine, they have expert sommeliers on board. You can do wine tasting. You can learn also from the executive chef how to make some of their secret dishes. They have a really wonderful program on board, Culinary Arts it's called, and a firm music focus. Holland America line is famous, particularly for their jazz. They have the B.B. King's Blues Lounge. They also have the Neptune Band, they're called. They are the in-house show band. They'll be playing all around the ship. They have live music left, right and centre. You might see a string quartet. You might see, you know, just live singers. It's wonderful. It really is.
They do have such an excellent reputation as well, and if you like your food, you will love Holland America line.
Oh, so good.
Because the food is many and plenty. The attention to detail in every single dish that comes out of the galleys is amazing. I mean, that's really one of the mainstays of their reputation as well, is the food offering, which is always important when you're on holiday. And remember, you're not cooking at all unless you choose to kind of get involved in the Culinary Arts Centre. So 14 nights, off we go on Westerdam out of Sydney.
Let's do it. And we're heading after a day at sea into fabulous Melbourne, where you can head to the 12 Apostles, maybe take a little tour that takes in Hillsville Sanctuary, which is amazing, by the way, Fitzroy Gardens, or just ride the trams if you've never been to Melbourne before. Then it's Hobart, of course, which is capital of Tassie, and you've got more than National Trust buildings, 90 of them around Hobart itself. You've got the incredible Mount Field National Park there to visit, and the Russell Falls as well. We are cruising through Fiordland National Park next, where you can take in some incredible scenic vistas. Milford, Dusky and Marlborough Sound are right there at your fingertips, and it's actually New Zealand's largest national park, formed millennia ago by massive glacial flows. Talking of filming, by the way, they do a cruise video you can buy at the end of your cruise, which will take in everything.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Then it's Dunedin, and in Dunedin, you're going to be finding, you know, lots of tours that can really tempt you, including the Otago Wildlife Cruise Tour. The Ulverston House and Lanark Castle is another tour you can take in. Speak to your team on board about that. They'll have some great suggestions. Christchurch is up next, and at the heart of this city lies an incredible Gothic cathedral. I'd highly recommend seeing that. They also have a brilliant art centre. And then there's the Akaroa and Banks Peninsula. Piton is next on the list, which is absolutely beautiful. Some tours I'd recommend here are the Marlborough Farm Garden and Sheep Roundup tour, or guided biking and wine tour and lunch, although I don't know if that sounds like such a good idea. I'm sure it's all safe. Wellington is next on the list, of course, the capital. You've got Mount Victoria Lookout there in cable car, which is great. The Te Papa Museum, you can learn about lots of Indigenous history, which is great, and the Waiter Caves are awaiting you. Then it's wine country into Napier, where you can absolutely do some wine tasting if you are a little bit of a wine lover. Or if you're not converted, you can actually head off and just, do some sightseeing. It has some of the most beautiful sights and landscapes on earth. Taranga is up next, and of course we can't head to this port without a mention of Hobbiton, the Hobbiton tour, but you might want to head out to Rotorua, and you can do a day trip to Rotorua from Taranga as well and see the incredible thermal hot springs and geysers and mud pools and all of that incredible geothermal activity. Disembarking in Auckland, where we have a one-night hotel stay, and Auckland's really a fascinating city. It's absolutely wonderful. Of course, the New Zealanders are very friendly and welcoming. The shopping is superb. If you love little boutiques and craft industries, and you're wanting to pick up some, fun things to take home, then I highly recommend, strolling some of the back streets and grabbing yourself. And again, we have to go back to this, but some of the best coffee in the world. And then, like you said, it's up for debate, but you can spend your time exploring the different coffee shops.
Exactly. You decide. I tell you what, I'm definitely buying the video at the end of this cruise for those memories of, wine and sheep herding as a combination. That's definitely got to come home on a DVD with you, isn't it?
I love a sheep shearing experience.
Oh, it's got to be done, and it's got to be captured for you as well.
What Aussie doesn't?
It's going to be amazing. Usually back in the day, do you remember when we had, it was all cameras and film, and then going around to the relatives, and you'd have folders and folders and albums of, look at what we did on holiday. Well, now you can just take the DVD round, can't you? Or even now your little, thing that you plug into the computer, and then let's all watch it, load it to YouTube and show everyone. It's brilliant. Actually, it's a memorable holiday before we've even been on it. So you've got to get it booked. And I'd love to see some of your video when you get back as well. So this is a brilliant start to the new year for next year. Holland America's Westerdam is waiting for you in Sydney for 2 weeks of cruising New Zealand, including those wonderful, wonderful Fiordland National Park scenes of the mountains and just the sheer beauty. And you're eye to eye at the right level when you're on a ship as well to just take in the beauty. You end the cruise in Auckland, spend a night in a hotel there, that's included. And then of course your flight back to Sydney. Deposits today of just $600 each, and your price tag for the entire package, and it's going to be one to remember, I just know. You're going to have to watch this show again before you go and take Joe's suggestions for those tour excursions to make them the most memorable. That's an amazing price, and that's the CruiseAway Dream Away package price tag for you. It's always brilliant because we have such an amazing relationship, and so many people book their cruises with us here at CruiseAway, and that means that we can negotiate better prices for you for the future. Now, let's look at upgrading, because our lead-in price is brilliant, but if you want a better view out of your stateroom, then Ocean View is there and balcony is there. And how about the treat of a suite? It would be incredible. It really would. Call us right now. 1300 411 954 is our toll-free telephone number. And remember, of course, with any of our packages, you can spread the cost with Travel Pay Later as well, where you can actually break down the cost of the entire holiday long before you've actually gone on it. By 6 or 12 payments, which is brilliant. It's interest free. There's a couple of admin fees, but it's very, very simple and easy to sign up to as well. So if you want to put those plans in place right now, I mean, if you think about it, if you took advantage of that over 12 months, you'd be pretty much paid up by the time you actually went on your holiday. And that's always a good feeling, isn't it? So speak to our team more about that. 1300 411 954. Which is brilliant. I mean, we just have so many different varieties and offers as well. No matter who your cruise line is, we will have a cruise that probably isn't a million miles away. There are loads and loads of cruises around Oz through the year, going out into the South Pacific, heading over to Singapore, which is not a million miles away as well. So you've got lots and lots of options, which is brilliant.
And as I always say, cruising brings the world to Australia and Australia to the world. It's the easiest way of hopping off on an adventure, I think, you know, from your own back door. We have got more offers coming up for you. We have one more offer, actually.
Yes, we do.
And it's a good one. We're going to take a cruise that explores the south of Oz for the 7th of December next year. So it's a mighty 2 weeks of summer cruising on the wonderful Crown Princess. And it starts by flying you from Sydney over to Perth for a 3-night hotel stay. Oh, this is going to be a nice one. The great thing about Fremantle, and if you haven't headed over there, because it's amazing how many Australians haven't been over to the West Coast, like Kimberley and Fremantle and things. Yeah, you may have been over to Europe, you may have been over to Asia, but maybe not over to the West Coast. It's quite common, you know, that we sometimes miss the things on our own doorstep. But this is a great, you know, little excuse to explore Fremantle. It's a very chilled out city. Of course, there's the famous prison. You've got to go and see that. Rottnest Island as well, the Yanchep National Park and the Aboriginal Interaction Centre, alongside some of the best beaches in the entire country. I mean, they are superb. Wineries, craft breweries, you name it. Then it's time for us to cruise on board the gorgeous and elegant Crown Princess, which is classic cruising at its finest. You're going to be on board for 11 nights. I love that length of cruise, don't you? Just a little bit more than a week, not quite 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it's ideal.
It's perfect. And this ship as well is so loved by passengers across the globe. I mean, Crown Princess does a lot of nautical miles on, you know, all 4 corners of the globe, and she is very, very popular. Again, because, you know, cruising and cruise ships have changed massively, and now the trend can some ways tend towards bigger is better.
Yeah.
And actually the Crown Princess is kind of cruising. It's not old-fashioned cruising at all. It's just a nice manageable size. So it's really about the journey and where you are going to as well, and less about thrills and spills.
Yeah, exactly. It's about enjoying the experience of cruising. Around 3,000 passengers, so it's the ideal size ship for me. I love this kind of size ship. Now, you'll notice in some of the footage, they have won you know, a ton of awards, particularly for their food. USA Today Cruise Critic voted best pizza. You're looking at some Michelin-starred, you know, design menus as well from top chefs. They are always winning for the wine pairings, and you name it. I mean, this is going to be, for my foodies out there, this is going to be the ultimate experience. And it's not just what is included, because you have your traditional dining room and your buffet included, which you could quite happily just spend the time going to. There is also the specialty restaurants. You pay a little bit extra, but boy, is it worth it, because you will be treated like kings and queens, and you just have delectable food, fabulous wine pairings, and you know, the whole 9 yards. The staterooms, again, they're constantly winning awards for things like their beds. I mean, this is just absolutely gorgeous and relaxing. And honestly, even if you spend half the cruise in your stateroom ordering room service and watching movies, it is about relaxing and watching the world go by outside. Well, it's about relaxing.
You know, as well, we've got a little bit of an extra sweetener on that subject as well, of treating yourself and truly relaxing, because on this offer we are going to give you, as an exclusive, up to 200 Aussie dollars of onboard spend.
Ooh, that's
on
nice.
This offer if you take it up today.
I'm booking a massage.
And a manicure and a pedicure
and the thermal suite. Exactly.
Here's where we're going.
Yeah, we are off straight away to fabulous Margaret River as the first port bustle to vibrant coastal city. This one very laid back and charming. You can go and see the stalagmites and stalactites. Oh, I managed to say it properly. In the nature caves. And then we're on to Albany. And Albany is a little city off the beaten track. Very cute, fun to explore. They have a great whaling museum. The Torrendip National Park is there as well. And the fabulous treetop walk you've probably heard about is going to be thrilling. Then it's Adelaide, 20-minute city, of course. A nice little tour to do here would be port to port maritime and heritage. They have the amazing botanic gardens, of course. The Barossa Valley is right at your fingertips, as well as Mount Lofty. Then it's Melbourne, place where I grew up. I mean, it's the nation's culture capital, isn't it? Whether you're heading to see some of the incredible museums or the Arts Centre or just down to Federation Square. You'll love Melbourne, especially if you haven't visited. Hobart's up next, capital of Tasmania. Has a lot in common with Sydney. I found it a few years later, but it owes its origins to the establishment of a penal colony, of course. You have the Huon Valley and Terhune Airwalk tour to do there, which I'd recommend. Now, you are going to be cruising into Sydney to disembark. Very easy because, you know, it's all around Oz. You don't have to travel too far. Yet at the same time, you're going to some really fabulous sort of off the beaten track destinations on this adventure. It's
a fantastic itinerary. I love it. I was just thinking about all these penal colonies. I mean, if you're going to be locked up somewhere warm in the sun, right?
We've got some history to that element in most cities in Oz, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. But there you go. We've all got our thing, haven't we? Right, December next year then. Do you fancy this? We do low deposit on this as well. So you fly from Sydney over to Perth, 3 nights in a hotel there, and then you join the Crown Princess in Fremantle for 11 nights of cruising around the south of Oz and Hobart back to Sydney. As I said before, we're going to include some onboard spend back to you, up to 200 Aussie dollars per cabin coming your way when you take up this deal, and a low deposit today to get it in place of just $400 each. Now, the price tag on this is superb, and I'm going to tell you how to max out the value in just a moment as well, because this is under $3,000. What an amazing way of seeing, as Joe said earlier, what's right on our doorstep. Let's look at upgrading as well when you're on board the actual ship. So if you want to go up to an ocean view, I mean, just another $99 each.
That's brilliant.
Hello. That's an easy one, isn't it? You've got your price there as well. If you really want to splash out on your balcony or even up to a suite as well. And don't forget, you can add a really comprehensive drinks and more package with Princess as well. It's called Princess Plus. It's $65 per person per day. And it gives you your plus drinks package, which is drinks up to $22, unlimited Wi-Fi for a device, unlimited juice bar, premium desserts, which are new to Princess and they're really, really brilliant. Fitness classes, casual dining meals, Ocean Now delivery, and room service throughout your cruise as well. It's really, really superb. And actually, Princess have just changed, or about to change actually in September this year, the way they do dining as well. To add a kind of third level of main dining where you can reserve on the app in main dining as well at a time that you want to go, which is really, really good. So you can say sort of, you know, my time dining, so your table at the same time every single day as you want to. You can just kind of turn up and see if there's a table there for you, or you can reserve in advance because you don't always know when you actually want to dine, which is brilliant.
I love that.
They're great, aren't they? They think of anything. Everything, should I say. So, that's it. We're out of time. Again, can you believe it? But we're here every day on Gecko, remember. 10 in the morning, 1 and 4 in the afternoon, every single day, and thousands more, and I mean thousands more opportunities for you to get away on your next cruise on our website, cruiseaway.com.au. And who doesn't love a holiday?
Who doesn't love a holiday, indeed. Get exploring, get it booked in. We look forward to seeing you back on this channel very, very soon. But for now, take care.
See you later.